Cold open. The night everything changed, darkness. The kind that swallows sound and hope in equal measure. A narrator's voice cuts through, deep and measured, like wisdom earned through pain. Sometimes a man takes a job because he needs money. Sometimes because he needs purpose. Marcus Sullivan took this job because of a question that had haunted him for 2 years. A question he couldn't answer. Until now. The darkness gives way to harsh fluorescent lights. A hospital corridor. 3 in the morning. The kind of hour when the world feels suspended between yesterday's failures and tomorrow's uncertainties. Marcus Sullivan sits in a plastic chair. 32 years old. Work clothes stained with motor oil and something darker. Blood, maybe. His hands rest on his knees, steady despite everything. Those hands tell stories. Scars from hot metal, calluses from honest work, and something else. A precision in the way his fingers tap a rhythm only he can hear. Military rhythm. A doctor emerges through double doors. Scrubs wrinkled, eyes tired but kind. "Mr. Sullivan, you brought in 2 people from the accident. Can you tell me what happened?" Marcus looks up. His voice is quiet, controlled. "Car flipped, Interstate 90. I was passing by. Stopped to help." The doctor nods, consulting his clipboard. The woman, Elizabeth Hartley, will recover. Concussion, some scarring. But the man, Richard Hartley, a pause, the kind doctors practice but never perfect. "We couldn't save him. I'm sorry." Something crosses Marcus's face, not surprise, something heavier. Guilt, perhaps, or knowledge. "I tried. CPR for 8 minutes, but I couldn't." "You did everything right. Cardiac arrest. His age, his stress levels, his heart condition. No one could have saved him." Marcus doesn't respond because he knows something the doctor doesn't. Something he found while performing that CPR. Something small and terrible that changed everything. In his jacket pocket, his hand closes around a small evidence bag. Inside, a broken syringe needle. The kind that doesn't belong in a car accident. The kind that kills. The image fades. Time shifts forward. The narrator returns, his voice carrying weight. Marcus knew Richard Hartley didn't die from a heart attack, but he told no one. Not yet. Not until he knew who to trust. 2 years later, he would find out. And the person who would help him uncover the truth was the dead man's daughter. The same woman whose life he saved that frozen night. Present day, Marcus stands outside a gleaming tower of glass and steel. Hartley Technologies. 45 floors of ambition and power rising into a Chicago sky that promises nothing and demands everything. He adjusts his tie, the only good one he owns. 10 years old but clean, like his conscience. Complicated, but clean. Today he interviews for a job no one wants. Personal driver to a woman everyone calls impossible. But Marcus doesn't want the job because he needs it. He needs it because he has to be close to Elizabeth Hartley. Close enough to discover the truth about her father's death. Close enough to expose whoever killed him. The question that haunted him for 2 years was simple. Who benefits from Richard Hartley's silence? Today, Marcus would begin finding the answer. South Side Chicago, 6:30 in the morning. The garage where Marcus works doesn't look like much. Cracked concrete, fluorescent lights that flicker. Tools older than some of the cars they fix. But it's honest work, the kind that lets a man sleep at night. Marcus slides under a Ford pickup. His hands move with practiced precision, checking, testing, finding the problem others miss. "Marcus, you done with that Ford yet?" Tony Martinez, 62, owner of this small piece of the American dream. Good man, fair boss, the kind who gives second chance when the world stops believing in them. Marcus rolls out from under the truck. Oil streaks his forearms. His white shirt will never be white again. 10 minutes, the transmission mount is cracked. I'm reinforcing it. Tony's face tightens, the expression of a man watching profit margins evaporate. The customer only authorized $400. Don't go doing extra work. Marcus wipes his hands on a rag that's seen better decades. His voice stays calm, patient. "She's got 2 little kids, Tony. If this mount fails on the highway, she could die. They could die. I can't let that happen." Tony stares at him. Respect wars with frustration. Respect wins. That's why you only make 32,000 a year with skills like yours, Marcus. You're too good for your own good. Marcus doesn't answer, just slides back under the truck. His hands find the crack, begin the weld, the spark and hiss of metal bonding, making something broken whole again. If only everything in life could be fixed so simply. His phone buzzes. A reminder. Interview at 2. Hartley Technologies. He checks the time. 7:15. He has to get home. Make Maya breakfast. Walk her to school. Be the father she needs. Be the father Sarah would want him to be. The thought of his dead wife hits like it always does. Sharp, sudden. A pain that time softens but never erases. 4 years gone. Cancer took her slowly. Bills took everything else. $280,000 in medical debt. Every penny of their savings. His retirement. The college fund they started when Maya was born. All of it gone. But Maya remains, 7 years old, smart as her mother, kind as her mother. The reason Marcus gets up every morning and fights. The reason he'll do anything. Even take a job that leads him into danger. Even uncover truths that powerful men kill to hide. The apartment is small, 1 bedroom for Maya. Marcus sleeps on the couch. But it's clean, safe, filled with photographs of Sarah. Her smile in every room. Her presence in every corner. Maya sits at the kitchen table. Hair in neat cornrows Marcus learned to braid from YouTube videos. School uniform pressed. Homework spread before her. "Daddy, you're home!" She jumps up, hugs him despite the oil on his clothes. At 7, she doesn't care about stains, only about him. "Hey, baby girl, what are you working on?" "An essay about heroes. Can I write about you?" Marcus moves to the stove, starts making pancakes, the routine they've perfected, the dance of a father trying to be mother and father both. "You should write about Mommy. She was the real hero." Maya considers this with the seriousness children bring to important things. "I'll write about both. Mommy taught me to be brave. You teach me to be strong." The spatula in Marcus's hand stills. Emotion catches in his throat. "You're the smart one in this family, you know that?" They eat breakfast together. Pancakes shaped like Mickey Mouse. Orange juice in plastic cups covered with cartoon characters. The small rituals that make a house a home. Maya chatters about school, about Katie's new iPad, about the science fair coming up. "Katie's dad bought her a new iPad, Daddy. Can I maybe—" Her voice trails off. She's 7, but she understands. More than she should. Marcus sets down his fork, looks at his daughter with love and regret tangled together. "Sweetie, your iPad still works fine. We have to save money." "Save for what?" "For your college. And maybe someday, Daddy will have his own shop." Maya's face lights up. The resilience of childhood. The ability to find joy in dreams not yet real. "Daddy's shop will be the best shop in Chicago." She hugs him. Marcus holds on perhaps a second too long, breathing in the scent of her shampoo, the weight of her trust. He will not fail her, whatever it takes. 2 o'clock. Marcus stands in an elevator rising toward the 40th floor. His reflection stares back from polished steel. The suit is old but clean. The tie is straight. His shoes are shined. He looks like a man trying to fit into a world that wasn't built for him. The receptionist barely glances up when he announces himself. Her voice is professional, cold. "Ms. Hartley will see you if she has time. Wait here." Marcus sits. The waiting area is all glass and chrome. Minimalist, expensive. The kind of place where comfort is sacrificed for the appearance of success. He waits. 2:15, 2:30, 2:45. The test has already begun. At exactly 3 o'clock, the office doors open. Elizabeth Hartley emerges like winter given human form. 29 years old, platinum blonde hair cut in a severe bob, designer suit in navy that probably costs more than Marcus makes in a month. Ice blue eyes that assess and dismiss in the same glance. She built her reputation on being brilliant and brutal in equal measure. Inherited her father's company at 27, grew it by 85% in 2 years through ruthless efficiency. Forbes called her the Ice Queen of Tech. They weren't wrong. "Mr. Sullivan," no handshake. She doesn't move closer, professional distance maintained like a moat. "You're late." Marcus checks his watch. 3 o'clock exactly. I was told 3, ma'am. Your interview was scheduled for 2. Punctuality matters. My last 5 drivers averaged 3 weeks before quitting. Can you explain why you'd last longer? The test continues. Marcus recognizes it. Stress interview. See how he handles pressure. He's handled worse. Because I need this job, Ms. Hartley. My daughter needs stability. Elizabeth's expression doesn't change. Carved from ice and ambition. I'm not a charity, Mr. Sullivan. I need competence. I work 18-hour days, travel constantly, attend events where image matters. She pauses, the kind of pause that speaks volumes. My clients expect certain standards. Marcus understands immediately. The unspoken message, the question beneath the question. You're asking if a black driver fits your image. Elizabeth's eyes narrow. Not quite anger, something sharper. I'm asking if you can handle pressure. Don't make this about race. Ma'am, you brought it up. I'm just clarifying. Silence stretches between them. A test of wills. Neither looks away. Finally, Elizabeth moves to her desk, picks up a file. His file. Your resume says Army, mechanic, honorable discharge after 8 years, Afghanistan deployment. Why leave the military? Family circumstances required it. Your wife died. Cancer, I'm sorry. The sympathy sounds rehearsed, like she's practiced it, but never meant it. Thank you. Elizabeth sets down the file, studies him with those ice blue eyes. Scenario, I'm late for a $50 million deal closing. Traffic is jammed. 20 minutes to cross 8 miles of downtown. What do you do? Marcus thinks for 5 seconds. His Army training kicking in. Contingency planning. Mission success despite obstacles. Check real-time traffic apps. If all main routes are blocked, I use service roads through the West Loop. Lower Wacker Drive if desperate. I call ahead. I request a 15-minute buffer. Have you join the meeting remotely from the car if necessary. If we're still late, I suggest a helicopter from Chicago Executive Airport to a rooftop landing if the building permits. Elizabeth's eyebrows rise. Fractionally, the first crack in her ice. Where did you learn contingency planning like that? Army logistics, ma'am. Deployed to Afghanistan. We had to adapt constantly. Your resume says motor pool maintenance. I was, but then I also worked other duties. He doesn't elaborate. Some things aren't on resumes, like the fact that his unit specialized in investigating financial crimes, following money trails that funded insurgents, finding fraud in military contracts, skills that would matter very soon. Elizabeth considers him for a long moment. Behind those cold eyes, calculations run, assessments made. You start Monday, 5:30 in the morning. Don't be late. Don't disappoint me. Marcus stands, extends his hand. She doesn't take it. Thank you, Ms. Hartley. You won't regret this. I usually do, Mr. Sullivan. Prove me wrong. He leaves. The door closes behind him. Elizabeth stays at her window, staring out at Chicago stretching below. Her reflection in the glass looks tired, lonely, human. She pulls out her laptop, types his name into a search engine. Marcus Sullivan, Army service record, honorable discharge, Afghanistan deployment. One line catches her attention. Unit assignment, financial crimes investigation. She stares at those 3 words, financial crimes. A man who investigates financial crimes just became her driver. Coincidence? Elizabeth Hartley didn't believe in coincidences. Monday morning, 5:25. Marcus stands beside the Mercedes S-Class. Black, immaculate. Worth more than he'll make in 2 years. He arrived early. Always early. The military drilled that into him. Elizabeth exits the building at exactly 5:30, sees him waiting, says nothing, gets in the back seat. The drive begins in silence. Marcus drives carefully, smoothly, observing traffic patterns, noting shortcuts, but mostly he observes her. Elizabeth checks her phone constantly. Emails, messages, conference calls that start before dawn. Her voice is clipped, professional, cold. She hasn't eaten. He can tell from the coffee cups that accumulate. 3 by 9 in the morning, no food. Her hand trembles slightly when she sets down her phone. Stress or medical condition, he can't tell yet. She takes a deep breath before every difficult call. Anxiety management technique. After the second call, she catches his eyes in the rearview mirror. You're staring. I'm monitoring, ma'am. Your stress level affects my driving decisions. If you're on an urgent call, I smooth the turns. If you're reading, I avoid sudden braking. I adapt to your needs. Silence, then barely audible. No one's ever said that before. The week continues, a pattern emerges. Day 1, she criticizes his routes. Too slow. Day 2, the temperature, too cold. Day 3, the music, too loud. Turn it off. Day 4, she doesn't speak at all. Day 5, after a brutal board meeting, Marcus sees her crying in the rearview mirror. Quiet tears she thinks no one notices. He notices everything. Friday night, 11 o'clock. The drive to her penthouse. Elizabeth stares out the window. The city lights reflect in glass, in her eyes. Marcus breaks the silence. Gently. Long week, Miss Hartley. They're all long, Mr. Sullivan. The board meeting seemed difficult. She turns sharply, suspicion hardening her features. You were listening? I couldn't help overhearing when you exited. Mr. Sterling seemed particularly aggressive. Elizabeth's jaw tightens, muscle memory of defended positions. Douglas wants me to fail. He wanted my father's position. A pause. Marcus treads carefully. Your father, the accident 2 years ago, I'm very sorry. Elizabeth's mask cracks, just slightly, just enough. Someone pulled me out of that car, tried to save my father. I spent $2 million searching. Never found him. Marcus says nothing. Guilt sits heavy in his chest. He's that someone, the man she's been looking for. But he can't tell her. Not yet. Not until he knows the whole truth. Not until he can prove her father was murdered. The narrator's voice returns, quiet, knowing. Marcus Sullivan carried 3 secrets. 1, he saved Elizabeth Hartley's life that frozen night. 2, he knew her father didn't die from natural causes. 3, he was closer to proof than anyone realized. Because while the Army taught him to fix engines, they also taught him to find financial fraud. And Hartley Technologies' books hid $67 million in theft. Marcus just needed time to prove it. Week 3, Tuesday morning, 5:15. Marcus's phone rings. Mrs. Chen, his neighbor, the woman who watches Maya when he works. Her voice is pained, frightened. Marcus, I fell. My hip. I need emergency room. His heart drops. Mrs. Chen, I'm calling an ambulance right now. I already did, but Marcus, Maya, I can't watch her. I'm so sorry. He looks at the clock. 5:18. Elizabeth expects him at 5:30. No choice. He wakes Maya, gets her dressed, grabs her backpack. They arrive at Elizabeth's building at 5:35. 5 minutes late. Elizabeth stands outside, arms crossed, ice forming in the autumn air around her. Then she sees the child in the back seat. Mr. Sullivan, explanation. Now. Marcus gets out, stands straight, military bearing. Childcare emergency, ma'am. My neighbor was hospitalized. I have nowhere else. This is unacceptable. I can't have... The back door opens. Maya steps out. 7 years old, hair in neat cornrows, purple jacket zipped against the cold. She walks directly to Elizabeth, extends her hand like a tiny professional. Hello, Ms. Hartley. I'm Maya. I apologize for any inconvenience. Elizabeth stares, speechless. This tiny human just did what most adults can't, approached her without fear. Hello. Maya doesn't lower her hand, patient, polite. Elizabeth shakes it, awkwardly. Maya smiles, the kind of smile that could melt winter. My daddy says you work very hard. I'll be very quiet, I promise. Elizabeth looks at Marcus, sees desperation carefully controlled. Pride refusing to beg. A long moment passes. Get in. Both of you. Relief floods Marcus's face. Thank you, Miss Hartley. Don't thank me yet, Mr. Sullivan. This doesn't happen again. But something has shifted. Some infinitesimal warming. At the office, Jennifer, Elizabeth's assistant, sets up a small corner. Coloring books, tablets with educational apps, a chair small enough for a child. Maya settles in, pulls out homework, colors quietly. Board members exit a morning meeting. See the child. Whispers follow. Douglas Sterling appears, 58 years old, silver hair, expensive suit, the kind of man who believes power is his birthright. He pulls Elizabeth aside. His voice is low, but Marcus hears it. Trained for surveillance, his ears catch everything. A child? In executive offices? This is absurd, Elizabeth. One-time emergency, Douglas. Your driver brings his daughter to work? What's next? Do we provide daycare for all staff families? A pause, loaded with implication. Sterling steps closer, menacing in his politeness. Your father would have fired him on the spot. You're too soft, the board notices. He walks away. Elizabeth stands alone in the hallway. For the first time since Marcus met her, she looks shaken. Inside his office, Sterling picks up his phone. I need a complete background check. Marcus Sullivan, everything. Military records, financial history, medical records, anything I can use. Find his weaknesses. The voice on the other end responds. And if there's nothing? Sterling's smile is cold. Then create something. The narrator speaks again. Douglas Sterling made a mistake. He wanted dirt on Marcus Sullivan. What he would find instead was a man trained by the United States Army to investigate exactly the crime Sterling had committed. And once Marcus started looking at Hartley Technologies' books, Sterling's empire of lies would crumble. At lunchtime, Marcus picks up food. Maya stays with Elizabeth. The little girl looks at Elizabeth's bare desk. No photos, no personal items, just screens and documents. Miss Hartley, why don't you have any pictures? Elizabeth glances up from her laptop. The question catches her off guard. I don't have family to display. What about your daddy? Pain flashes across Elizabeth's face. Quick, controlled. But there. He died 2 years ago. Maya's expression fills with understanding beyond her years. I'm sorry. My mommy died too. Do you miss him? Elizabeth's fingers still on her keyboard. Every day. He was complicated, but yes, I miss him. Daddy talks about mommy like that. Says love isn't simple, but it's always worth it. Something breaks inside Elizabeth. Some wall she didn't know she'd built. Your father is very wise. Maya nods seriously. And very sad sometimes. I hear him cry at night, but he thinks I'm sleeping. Elizabeth looks at this child, really looks, sees strength wrapped in innocence, loss transformed into compassion. Do you cry, Ms. Hartley? The question is direct, simple, devastating. Elizabeth's voice is barely a whisper. Yes, when I think I'm alone. Maya gets up, walks around the desk, takes Elizabeth's hand. You're not alone. You have us now. A statement, not a question, a declaration of belonging. Elizabeth's eyes fill with tears she hasn't shed in 2 years. Month 2 slides into month 3. Maya occasionally appears when childcare falls through. Each time, Elizabeth's protests grow weaker. Her smiles come easier. She orders lunch delivered, eats for the first time in months, shows Maya the server rooms, finds educational videos. Late-night drives become conversations, real ones, about life beyond work, about loss and hope and the weight of expectations. Marcus and Elizabeth's relationship deepens slowly, carefully. One late evening, Marcus waits in the car. Elizabeth is working late, again. Documents sit on the back seat, quarterly financial reports she left behind. Marcus, bored, curious, trained to notice patterns, glances through them. His attention sharpens. Something is wrong. Research and development expenses. $4.2 million in quarter 3. But the product launches don't match the timeline. His training kicks in. Years of investigating financial crimes in military procurement, following money that funded insurgents, exposing fraud and multi-million-dollar contracts. He takes photos with his phone. We'll review later. That night, Maya sleeps. Marcus sits at his laptop. He pulls up Hartley Technologies' public filings, cross-references expenses against product releases. A pattern emerges. Ugly, undeniable. 2018, $8 million in research and development. No new products. 2019, $12 million. One minor update only. 2020, $18 million. Nothing launched. 2021, $22 million. A server upgrade. Nothing more. $60 million, unaccounted for. He applies techniques learned in the Army, financial fraud detection, shell company identification, offshore routing patterns. Classic embezzlement. The words hang in his empty apartment. He realizes the magnitude. Elizabeth doesn't know. Her own company. Someone is stealing millions. He stares at Sarah's photograph on the wall. If I tell her, I have to explain how I know. Financial crimes training. Then she asks why I really took this job. Then I tell her about the accident, about her father. He paces, the weight of knowledge pressing down. But if I don't tell her, whoever's stealing might be the reason her father died. Decision crystallizes. I need more proof before I tell her everything. Week 14, late Saturday evening. Elizabeth requests a drive to Lake Forest, her father's estate. I'm preparing to sell the house. I haven't been back since the funeral. Could you stay while I walk through? Of course. The mansion rises from manicured grounds. Old money, old pain. Elizabeth shows him through rooms filled with ghosts. Her father's study, where he criticized every grade, every choice, every dream. Her childhood bedroom, where she cried after his tirades. Her mother's closet, still full of clothes. Her father never removed them after she left. He was so angry when she left. I understand why she did. I was 12. I just wish she'd taken me with her. Marcus listens, doesn't judge, doesn't offer empty comfort. You survived. That takes its own kind of strength. Elizabeth turns to him, vulnerable in a way he's never seen. Why are you so patient with me, Marcus? Everyone else just wants me to be strong, decisive, perfect. Because I see who you are when you think no one's watching. You're not perfect. You're human. That's better. She steps closer, the distance between them collapsing. I can't stop thinking about you. I know, me too. This is impossible. You work for me. The board would never accept it. Then fire me. I can't. You're the best thing in my life. You and Maya. The kiss is inevitable, gentle, transformative. When they pull apart, Marcus's phone buzzes. An automated email. Hartley Technologies quarterly audit reminder. His face goes pale. Elizabeth, we need to talk about your company, about your father, about why I really took this job. What are you talking about? Sit down. This is going to be difficult. The narrator returns one final time. For 2 years, Marcus Sullivan kept secrets. Now, facing the woman he loved, he was about to tell her everything. That her father was murdered, that her company was being robbed, that he'd known all along. And the hardest truth? The man responsible sat in her boardroom every single week. His name was Douglas Sterling, and he was about to discover that Marcus Sullivan wasn't just a driver. He was the one person who could destroy everything Sterling had built on lies and blood. The screen fades to black. Elizabeth Hartley sits on the leather couch in her father's study. The mansion around them holds memories like prisoners. Some good, most painful. Marcus stands by the window, looking out at grounds maintained by people who never knew the man who owned them. His reflection in the glass shows a man preparing to destroy the fragile trust he's built. 2 years ago, December 14th, Interstate 90. His voice is steady, soldier steady, the kind of calm that comes from delivering bad news too many times. I was there. Elizabeth's head snaps up, her ice blue eyes suddenly focused, sharp. What? Marcus turns to face her. No more hiding. I pulled you from that car. I did CPR on your father for 8 minutes. I'm the man you spent $2 million trying to find. The silence that follows is absolute, the kind that precedes earthquakes. Elizabeth stands, slowly, her face cycling through emotions, confusion, disbelief, understanding, anger. You knew, this whole time, you knew and you said nothing? Yes. Why? Why hide? Why take a job as my driver? Why not just tell me? Marcus reaches into his jacket, pulls out a small evidence bag. Inside, a broken needle. 2 years preserved. Because I needed to be close to you, to protect you, from whoever did this. He hands her the bag. Elizabeth holds it up to the light, her hands beginning to shake. I found this in your father's neck while doing CPR, a puncture mark at the carotid artery. fresh, within 10 minutes of the accident. Her voice comes out strangled. Someone injected him? Potassium chloride, I believe. It causes instant cardiac arrest. In a man with a known heart condition, it looks natural, especially after a car accident. Elizabeth sits back down, her legs suddenly unreliable. You're saying someone murdered my father, made it look like an accident? Yes. And you've known for 2 years, did nothing. The accusation hangs between them. Valid. Painful. Marcus moves to sit across from her, not too close, giving her space. I didn't know who to trust, Elizabeth. I'm nobody. A black mechanic with no connections, no power, no credibility. You're a billionaire's daughter surrounded by people with resources I can't imagine. Who would believe me over them? He pulls out a folder from his bag. 2 years of secret investigation. So I kept the evidence safe. I watched the news. I waited. When I saw the driver position open, I applied. I needed to be close, to make sure you were safe, to find out who killed him. Elizabeth takes the folder, opens it with trembling hands. Inside, printouts, financial records, email trails, board meeting minutes. Your father was investigating financial irregularities before he died. Emails to Patricia Morrison. References to a $67 million discrepancy. Then he died. The investigation stopped. Elizabeth's mind races, connecting pieces she didn't know were scattered. 67 million. That was the figure in the briefcase that night. The Anderson manufacturing contracts. She stands, moves to her father's safe, the one she's never opened. Her fingers work the combination. Her birth date, like he was sentimental after all. Inside, documents, her father's personal files. She spreads them on the desk. Marcus joins her. Together, together they read. Financial analyses in her father's handwriting. Offshore account numbers. Shell company registrations. Wire transfer records. All approved by one signature. Douglas Sterling, Chief Financial Officer. Elizabeth's voice is barely a whisper. Douglas killed my father. Marcus nods. Grim confirmation. The evidence points that way. Your father found the embezzlement, planned to expose it. Sterling had him killed, made it look like an accident. Elizabeth sinks into her father's chair. The leather still smells faintly of his cologne. Expensive, distant, like the man himself. I need to call the police. The FBI. Marcus's hand on her shoulder stops her. Not yet. We need more. This is circumstantial. A good lawyer tears it apart. We need solid proof. Bank records, communications, something that ties Sterling directly to the murder. How do we get that? We investigate carefully, quietly, and we use the one advantage we have, which is, he doesn't know we know. He thinks you're just the CEO struggling with a relationship. He thinks I'm just a driver. We use that. We get close, we make him comfortable, and when he makes a mistake, we're ready. Elizabeth looks at him, really looks, seeing past the driver's uniform to the investigator beneath. Financial crimes investigation. That was your unit in the Army. Yes. You've been investigating my company this whole time, though. Yes. What did you find? Marcus hesitates, then commits. $67.3 million embezzled over 4 years. Routed through shell companies to offshore accounts. All approved by Sterling. Labeled as research and development expenses. But your product launches don't match the spending. He shows her his analysis. Charts, timelines, the kind of forensic accounting that built cases in military tribunals. Elizabeth stares at the evidence of her CFO's betrayal. I trusted him. After my father died, Douglas was the one who helped me, taught me, guided me. That's how it works. Predators earn trust, then exploit it. She stands, paces, energy needing outlet. So what do? How do we catch him? We set a trap, but carefully. Sterling is smart, dangerous. He's killed once. He'll kill again if threatened. The narrator's voice returns, quiet, knowing. 2 people, one murdered father between them, one company built on lies, and one man who would do anything to keep his secrets buried. Marcus and Elizabeth were about to start a dangerous game. The kind where one mistake means death. But they had something Sterling didn't expect. Each other. Monday morning, 5:30. Life continues as normal. At least on the surface. Marcus drives. Elizabeth works. Maya occasionally appears, bringing light to cold corporate spaces, but underneath, everything has changed. Elizabeth now watches Sterling during board meetings, notices things she missed before, how he deflects questions about financials, how he controls narratives, how he isolates her from board members who might be allies. Marcus begins his own investigation, careful, methodical. He arrives early, stays late, uses his access as driver to observe, to overhear, to photograph documents left carelessly visible. Week 1 of the secret investigation. Marcus waits outside a client dinner. Sterling exits with a man Marcus doesn't recognize. They stand by a car, talking, unaware of the driver 30 feet away. Marcus raises his phone, pretends to check messages. The camera captures everything. Sterling hands the man an envelope. Thick, the gesture of payment. The man is Victor Krause. Marcus identifies him later through facial recognition software. Former military contractor, current security consultant, the kind who specializes in problems that need permanent solutions, the kind who might arrange murders. Marcus sends the photos to Elizabeth, encrypted messaging app. Her response is immediate. Who is he? Krause, security contractor, background in wet work. Wet work? Assassinations. Even through text, Marcus feels her fear. Douglas Sterling sits in his office, 42nd floor, higher than Elizabeth by 2 floors. A petty victory that pleases him. His phone rings. The investigator he hired to dig into Marcus Sullivan. What did you find? The voice on the other end is nervous. Professional nervous. Sullivan's clean, no criminal record, no debts, honorable discharge from the Army. His wife died of cancer 4 years ago. Medical bills, but he's been paying them off. Works at a garage. Takes care of his kid. That's it? Nothing I can use? There's one thing, his Army unit, financial crimes investigation. He was trained in forensic accounting, deployed to Afghanistan tracking money that funded insurgents. Sterling's hand tightens on the phone. Financial crimes investigation. Yeah, he's good at finding hidden money. Testified in 3 military tribunals. His case has led to 4 convictions. Sterling hangs up, stares at Chicago spreading below his window. A driver trained in financial crimes investigation, working for Elizabeth, right as questions about the company's finances might resurface. Coincidence? Sterling doesn't believe in coincidences. He makes another call, this one to Victor Krause. We may have a problem. Elizabeth's driver, former military investigator. I need to know if he's looking into company finances. How do you want me to find out? Surveillance, his apartment, his computer, his phone, everything. That's risky. If he's trained, he'll notice. Then be better than his training. Week 2 of investigation. Marcus drops Maya at school. Tuesday morning, 8:15. He watches her run inside. Backpack bouncing. So innocent, so unaware of the danger circling. A black SUV pulls up across the street. Tinted windows. Expensive. Wrong. Marcus notes the license plate, takes a photo. The SUV doesn't move, just sits, watching. Marcus drives away, checking mirrors. The SUV follows for 3 blocks, then peels off. Message delivered. We know where your daughter goes to school. That evening, Marcus finds a note under his apartment door. No signature. Block letters. Stop asking questions, or Maya learns what a man who asks too many questions looks like. Marcus's hands shake. Not fear, rage, they threatened his daughter. Line crossed. He calls Elizabeth, voice tight. We need to meet, tonight, your place. We need to talk about Maya's safety. Elizabeth's penthouse. 10 at night, Maya sleeps in the guest room, Mrs. Chen, recovered now, agreed to stay with her. Marcus shows Elizabeth the note. Her face goes pale. They threatened a 7-year-old child. Sterling's desperate. We're getting close. He knows it. We go to the police. Now, this is terrorism. Marcus shakes his head. Police need evidence. A note with no signature? They'll investigate. Sterling will know. He'll destroy evidence. Go underground. We'll never prove the murder. So what do? We accelerate, push harder, force him to make a mistake. How? Board meeting next week. You announce an independent financial audit. Full forensic review by outside firm. Sterling will panic. He'll fight it. Let him. His fight makes him look guilty. And while the board debates, we keep investigating. Find the proof we need. Elizabeth moves to her window. The city below glitters. Beautiful. Indifferent. I'm scared, Marcus. He comes to stand beside her. Close enough to touch but not touching. Respecting boundaries even as they blur. I know. Me too. But fear means we're alive. Means we still have something to lose. And what we have is worth protecting. She turns, looks up at him. What do we have? Each other. Maya. A chance at something real. Sterling took your father. I won't let him take anything else. The kiss is different this time. Not tentative. Certain. A promise. When they break apart, Elizabeth's phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. A photo. Marcus and Elizabeth. In this room. Taken from a building across the street. The message below it is simple. I see everything. Marcus moves immediately. Pulls Elizabeth away from the window. Checks sight lines. Calculates distances. Long-range camera, professional surveillance. He's been watching. For how long? Long enough. Elizabeth's voice hardens. Fear transmuting to anger. I'm done hiding. Board meeting is Friday. I'm announcing the audit. Let Sterling try to stop me. Friday, 9 in the morning. The boardroom. 45th floor. Windows overlooking Chicago. 12 board members. Patricia Morrison at the head of the table. Elizabeth enters. Marcus waits outside. Close enough if needed. Sterling sits across from Elizabeth. Confident. Smiling. Patricia calls the meeting to order. We have a full agenda. Elizabeth, you requested time to address the board. The floor is yours. Elizabeth stands. Calm. Controlled. Her father's daughter. Thank you, Patricia. I'm announcing a comprehensive financial audit, independent firm, full forensic review of all accounts, transactions, and expenditures for the past 5 years. The room erupts. Questions, concerns, confusion. Sterling's voice cuts through. Elizabeth, this is highly unusual. What prompted this? She meets his eyes, steady. Due diligence, Douglas. Our shareholders deserve complete transparency. We already have annual audits. I want deeper analysis. No stone unturned. Sterling's smile tightens. This could cost millions. Disrupt operations, damage client confidence. I strongly oppose. Patricia intervenes. Douglas, transparency strengthens confidence. Elizabeth, have you selected a firm? Morrison, Hayes & Associates, former FBI forensic accountants, the best in the country. Sterling's face loses color. Just slightly, just enough. That's excessive. We can use our regular auditors. Elizabeth's voice is steel-wrapped in silk. I've made my decision. I'm requesting board approval to proceed. Patricia looks around the table. Discussion? 3 board members speak. 2 support Elizabeth. Transparency is good. 1 supports Sterling. Too expensive. Too disruptive. The arguments continue for an hour. Finally, Patricia calls for a vote. All in favor of authorizing the comprehensive audit? 7 hands raise. Opposed? 5 hands, Sterling among them. The motion passes. Elizabeth, proceed with the audit. Sterling stands. Controlled fury barely masked. This is a mistake. You're chasing shadows while real business suffers. Elizabeth doesn't flinch. If there are no shadows, the audit finds nothing. Then we're stronger for it. The meeting adjourns. In the hallway, Sterling corners Elizabeth. Marcus steps closer. Ready. Sterling's voice is low, threatening. You just made an enemy, Elizabeth. I've been loyal to this company for 20 years. To your father, and this is how you repay me? With suspicion? If you're innocent, you have nothing to fear. Everyone has something to fear, even you. He walks away. Marcus touches Elizabeth's arm. Gentle, grounding. You did it. Now what? Now we wait and watch. Sterling will make a move. Desperate people make mistakes. That night, Elizabeth can't sleep. adrenaline from the board meeting still coursing through her veins. She sits in her father's study at the mansion, surrounded by his things, his secrets. She opens his files again. Reading deeper this time, one document catches her attention, a letter, handwritten, dated 3 days before his death. To whoever finds this, if I die suddenly, investigate Douglas Sterling. He's been stealing from the company for years. I have proof. It's hidden in the one place he'll never look, where Elizabeth played as a child, where she was always safe. DS killed me. Don't let him get away with it. Richard Hartley. Elizabeth's hands shake. The one place she was always safe, her childhood playhouse, still standing in the back garden, weathered, forgotten. She runs, out of the study, through the darkened mansion, into the cold night air. The playhouse sits under an old oak, small, magical once. She pulls open the door, duck inside, and there, under a loose floorboard she used to hide treasures, she finds it, a metal box. Inside, a USB drive, bank statements, emails, recorded phone conversations, everything. Her father's insurance policy. She calls Marcus, voice shaking. I found it. Everything we need. He left it for me. I'm coming to you. Don't move. Don't tell anyone. 20 minutes later, Marcus arrives. Elizabeth hands him the box. Together, they review the contents. Bank records showing transfers from Hartley Technologies to Sterling's offshore accounts. $67 million, meticulously documented. Emails between Sterling and Krauss, discussing the problem and permanent solutions, and make it look accidental. A recorded phone call. Sterling's voice. Richard knows. He's going to the board Monday. We can't let that happen. Do what you have to do. Make it clean. Krauss responds. Car accident. Winter roads. Potassium chloride injection during a meeting earlier that day. Time released. Heart attack during the crash. Clean. Marcus and Elizabeth listen in horror. Murder. Premeditated. Recorded. Elizabeth's voice breaks. He killed my father for money. Marcus holds her. Lets her cry. The grief she's carried for 2 years finally released. When the tears slow, she looks up. What do we do now? Now we take this to the FBI. This is evidence they can't ignore. It's over. Sterling's finished. But as Marcus reaches for his phone, Elizabeth's rings. Unknown number. She answers on speaker. Sterling's voice. Elizabeth, we need to talk. Tonight. My office, just you. Or Marcus's daughter learns what happens to children of people who betray me. The line goes dead. Marcus's face goes cold. The kind of cold that precedes violence. He doesn't know we have the evidence. He thinks he still controls this. What do? You go to the meeting. Wear a wire. I call the FBI. Have them ready. We end this tonight. He'll kill me. No, because I'll be there. He won't see me, but I'll be there. Elizabeth looks at this man, this driver who became her protector, her partner, her love. Promise me we both survive this. I promise. Sterling's made his last mistake. He threatened my daughter. Now he answers for everything. The narrator returns. 2 years of secrets, 2 years of investigation. It all came down to one night, one meeting, one final confrontation. Douglas Sterling thought he held all the power. He was wrong, because Marcus Sullivan wasn't just a driver anymore. He was a soldier, a father, a man who had finally found something worth fighting for. And men like that are the most dangerous kind. 11 at night, FBI agents arrive at Elizabeth's penthouse. Quiet, efficient. Agent Laura Chen, 45, 20 years with the Bureau, specializes in white-collar crime. Mrs. Hartley, Mr. Sullivan, we've reviewed the evidence you sent. It's substantial. We're ready to proceed. She produces a small device, professional surveillance wire. This goes under your blouse, transmits everything to us. We'll be in a van outside Hartley Technologies. SWAT team ready if things go wrong. Marcus interrupts. I'm going in with her. Chen shakes her head. Too risky. Sterling specified alone. I didn't ask permission. I'm going. I'll stay hidden. But I'm going. Elizabeth touches his arm. Marcus. No discussion. He threatened Maya. I'm there. Chen studies him, sees something. military bearing, controlled lethality. Fine, but you follow our lead, no heroics. We need Sterling's confession on tape, clean, admissible in court. Marcus nods. Midnight approaches. Elizabeth and Marcus drive to Hartley Technologies. The building is empty, 45 floors of darkened glass and steel. They take the elevator to Sterling's office. 42nd floor. The doors open. Sterling waits, calm, confident. Elizabeth, thank you for coming. You threatened a child, Douglas. I threatened consequences. There's a difference. Come in. We need to talk. Elizabeth enters. Marcus stays in shadows by the elevator. Security cameras conveniently off. Sterling's doing. Sterling's office overlooks the city. Power made visible. Drink? No. Suit yourself. He pours scotch. Expensive, like everything else about him. You've put me in a difficult position, Elizabeth. This audit, these questions. Your father had the same problem. Always questioning, never trusting. He questioned because you were stealing. Sterling smiles. No more pretense. Stealing is such an ugly word. I prefer strategic reallocation. I built this company as much as Richard did. I deserve compensation. $67 million? You found my accounts. Impressive. Your driver help with that? Marcus has nothing to do with this. Marcus, first name basis. How progressive. Tell me, is he as good in bed as he is at asking questions? Elizabeth's jaw tightens. You killed my father. I solved a problem. Richard was going to destroy everything. The board would have panicked. Stock would have crashed. Cops lost. All because of his moral superiority. He was going to expose you. So I removed the threat. Simple business decision. Krauss made it look accidental. Potassium chloride. Brilliant, really. Causes cardiac arrest. Untraceable after cremation, which you helpfully authorized. The confession flows. Sterling thinks he's safe. Thinks Elizabeth is alone. Thinks he still controls the narrative. What happens now, Douglas? Now you make a choice. You kill the audit, you stay quiet, or accidents happen. Your driver's daughter, such a tragedy, 7 years old, house fire while she sleeps. These things happen. In the shadows, Marcus's fist clenches, every instinct screaming to emerge, to end this man, but he waits. The confession needs to be complete. Elizabeth's voice is steady. And if I refuse, then you join your father. Car accidents. They're so common. He moves closer, menacing. I've killed once, Elizabeth. It gets easier the second time. The lights suddenly blaze. FBI agents pour through every entrance. FBI, Douglas Sterling, you're under arrest for murder, embezzlement, and conspiracy. Sterling spins, shock replacing confidence. Agent Chen emerges, holding a recording device. We heard everything. You're done. Sterling's eyes find Elizabeth's wire. Then Marcus, emerging from shadows. Understanding dawns. You played me. Marcus's voice is cold. You threatened my daughter. You killed her father. You lost the moment you thought you were untouchable. Agents move to handcuff Sterling. He struggles, cursing, threatening. But it's over. The narrator speaks one last time. Douglas Sterling spent 20 years building an empire on lies. It took one night to destroy it. One confession, one wire. One man who refused to let injustice stand. Richard Hartley's murder was solved, his killer caught, and his daughter finally found the closure she'd searched for. But the real victory wasn't justice. It was what came after. When the smoke cleared and the truth emerged, that's when real life could finally begin. End of part 2. Dawn breaks over Chicago, the kind of sunrise that arrives indifferent to the dramas of human life. Pink and gold painting clouds. The city beginning its Monday morning symphony of traffic and ambition. Marcus sits in Elizabeth's penthouse, every muscle aching, not from physical exertion, from the tension of holding himself together for 18 hours straight. Maya sleeps in the guest room, curled under blankets, innocent, safe, unaware that her father just helped cage a killer. Elizabeth stands by the floor-to-ceiling windows, still wearing yesterday's clothes, still wearing the wire beneath her blouse. Like if she removes it, the whole night might unravel, might become a dream. Agent Laura Chen closes her laptop. 3 hours of paperwork complete. The federal government moves slowly even when justice moves fast. We have everything we need. Sterling's confession on tape, the USB drive with your father's evidence, financial records, testimony from Krauss once his plea deal finalizes. This is the strongest murder case I've worked in 20 years. Elizabeth's voice comes out hollow, empty. My father's been dead for 2 years. Justice doesn't bring him back. Chen's expression softens. She's been with the FBI long enough to recognize the numbness that follows victory, the emptiness where fury used to live. No, it doesn't, but it means he didn't die for nothing. You finished what he started. That matters. The agents gather their equipment, promise to be in touch. Trials take time, months of preparation, testimony, the grinding wheels of legal process. But the hard part is over. Sterling is behind bars. The truth is exposed. The rest is just paperwork. After they leave, silence fills the penthouse like water flooding a ship. Marcus moves to the kitchen, muscle memory taking over when the mind can't. He makes coffee, toast, the simple rituals of continuing to exist. Elizabeth sits at the dining table, stares at nothing. I should call the board, issue a statement, control the narrative before the media does. Marcus sets a mug in front of her, steam rising. The board can wait. The media can wait. You need to breathe first. I don't know how. He sits beside her, takes her hand, the gesture familiar now, comforting. One breath at a time, that's all any of us can do. They sit in silence, watching daylight strengthen, watching the city wake. At 7, Maya emerges, hair mussed from sleep, rubbing her eyes. She climbs into Marcus's lap like she's done every morning of her life. Daddy, why are we at Miss Elizabeth's house? Marcus smooths her hair, his anchor, his reason. Remember how Daddy told you sometimes grown-ups have to do hard things? Last night was one of those times. Did you do the right thing? Yes, baby, we did. Maya studies his face. 7 years old but reading emotions like a scholar reads books. You're sad and happy at the same time. That's exactly right. Very observant. She turns to Elizabeth, sees the exhaustion. The tears dried on her cheeks. Miss Elizabeth, are you okay? Elizabeth manages a smile, small but real. I'm better now. Your daddy helped me very much. Maya slides off Marcus's lap, walks to Elizabeth, hugs her without hesitation. That's what daddies do. They help. Something breaks inside Elizabeth. The last wall, the final defense she didn't know she was holding. She hugs Maya back, really hugs her. 2 years of ice melting in one embrace. Marcus watches his 2 girls, his whole world in one room. Whatever comes next, they face it together. By 9 in the morning, every news outlet in America carries the story. CNN, Fox, MSNBC, local stations, national broadcasts. Tech CEO's father was murdered, CFO arrested. Hartley Technologies executive embezzled $67 million, killed founder Amadouer. Single father turned hero, Marcus Sullivan solves Billionaire's murder. The coverage is relentless. Talking heads analyzing, experts weighing in, cameras staked outside Hartley Technologies headquarters, photos everywhere, Sterling in handcuffs, Elizabeth's professional headshot, Marcus's driver's license photo enlarged to fill screens. The human interest angle dominates. Former driver, single father, struggling to survive, secretly investigating a murder while changing oil and fixing transmissions. It's the American dream wrapped in tragedy, wrapped in justice. The phone calls start by 10. Book publishers, movie producers, talk show bookers. Everyone wants the story. Everyone wants access. Marcus ignores them all. He didn't do this for fame. Never wanted spotlight. Just wanted truth. But Elizabeth has responsibilities that can't be ignored. A company to steady. Employees who need reassurance. Shareholders watching stock prices fluctuate with each headline. At 2 that afternoon, she holds a press conference. Hartley Technologies lobby. Cameras and microphones creating a forest of technology pointed at one woman. Marcus stands off camera, present but invisible. Support without stealing focus. Elizabeth faces the questions. composed, professional, every inch the CEO. 2 years ago, my father, Richard Hartley, died in what we believed was a tragic accident. Today, we know the truth. He was murdered by Douglas Sterling, our chief financial officer, to cover up massive financial fraud. Her voice doesn't waver. Practice, performance, protection. My father discovered that Sterling had embezzled $67 million from our company over 4 years. When Richard planned to expose this theft, Sterling had him killed, made it look like cardiac arrest during a car accident. Cameras flash, reporters lean forward. Sterling has been arrested by the FBI. He confessed. The evidence is overwhelming. All stolen funds have been recovered and will be donated to charity in my father's name. A pause. Elizabeth's eyes find Marcus in the crowd, draw strength. I want to acknowledge Marcus Sullivan. For 2 years, he carried the burden of knowing my father didn't die naturally. He preserved evidence, protected me, helped me find truth when everyone else moved on. Without his courage and integrity, Sterling would still be free. My father's death would remain an unsolved mystery. Her voice finally cracks, just slightly, just enough to show she's human. Justice has been served. Now we heal. Now we rebuild. Now we honor my father's legacy by being the company he wanted us to be. Honest, transparent, worthy of trust. The questions explode. Ms. Hartley, what's your relationship with Marcus Sullivan? She doesn't hesitate. Mr. Sullivan was my employee. Now he's my partner, in every sense that matters. Are you confirming a romantic relationship? I'm confirming that I love him. That's all you need to know. She steps away from the podium, takes Marcus's hand publicly. They walk out together, cameras following, questions shouting after them, but they don't look back. In the car, Elizabeth exhales, 2 years of tension releasing in one long breath. That was harder than facing Sterling. Marcus drives, smooth, calm, the role reversal complete. You were perfect. I just told the world I'm in love with my former driver. The board is going to lose their minds. He smiles, first real one in 24 hours. Let them, we've faced worse. Monday morning, 1 week after the arrest, emergency board session. Hartley Technologies, 45th floor. The boardroom where so many battles were fought, where Sterling once sat powerful and untouchable. His chair is empty now, a ghost at the table. Patricia Morrison calls the meeting to order, her expression carefully neutral. Professional. We all know why we're here. Sterling's arrest, the murder, the embezzlement, the media coverage, and Elizabeth's very public declaration of her relationship with Marcus Sullivan. The tension in the room is physical, tangible. You could cut it with a knife and serve it at dinner. Harrison Blake speaks first, 62 years old money, older ideas, the kind of man who thinks the world peaked in 1975. Elizabeth, we're sympathetic to everything you've endured, truly. But your relationship with a former employee creates serious liability concerns, conflicts of interest, potential lawsuits. We need to address this professionally. Elizabeth sits at the head of the table, the chair her father once occupied. Marcus is not present, his choice. This is her battle. Professionally, I agree. Let's talk about that. Marcus Sullivan is no longer my employee. He resigned from the driver position effective immediately. Murmurs around the table, surprise, confusion. Furthermore, I'm proposing we create a new position, Director of Corporate Security and Compliance, salary commensurate with executive level, and I'm recommending Marcus Sullivan for the role. Blake's face reddens, blood pressure rising. That's textbook nepotism. Elizabeth's voice turns to steel. That's recognizing talent this board failed to see. Marcus has a military background in financial crimes investigation, 8 years investigating fraud and embezzlement in military contracts. His work exposed Sterling, recovered $67 million, prevented further theft. He's uniquely qualified for this role. Another board member, Susan Chen, speaks up, carefully. Elizabeth, regardless of qualifications, the optics are problematic. The media coverage, shareholders might view this as poor judgment, mixing personal and professional. Elizabeth stands, commands the room the way her father once did, the way she's learned to do. Poor judgment was trusting Douglas Sterling for 20 years. Poor judgment was ignoring warning signs because he played golf at the right clubs. My relationship with Marcus is personal. His qualifications are professional. Anyone who can't separate those two concepts doesn't belong on this board. Silence. Complete. Absolute. Patricia Morrison clears her throat. I move we create the position of Director of Corporate Security and Compliance. Annual salary of $250,000. Marcus Sullivan to fill the role subject to standard background checks and board approval. Someone seconds. The vote is called. 8 hands rise in favor, 4 opposed. Blake among them. Patricia nods. Motion passes. Elizabeth, please inform Mr. Sullivan of our decision. Elizabeth gathers her materials. One more announcement. I'm also taking 2 weeks personal leave, effective immediately. First vacation in 3 years. Jennifer can handle day-to-day operations. The company won't collapse without me. Blake sputters. 2 weeks? Now, in the middle of crisis management? This isn't a crisis, it's a resolution. Sterling's gone. The FBI cleared our books. Stock is actually up 4% since the news broke. Shareholders appreciate transparency. I'm taking time to heal, to be with people I love. Any objections will be noted and ignored. She walks out. In the hallway, Marcus waits, leaning against the wall, patient. How did it go? You're now Director of Corporate Security and Compliance. $250 base salary, corner office, full benefits. Welcome to the executive level. Marcus blinks, processing. Elizabeth, I didn't ask for that. I know, that's exactly why you deserve it. Also, we're taking a vacation, 2 weeks, you, me, and Maya, somewhere warm, somewhere without memories of murder. I can't just leave. I have responsibilities at the garage. Tony depends on me. I already called Tony, offered him $50,000 to hire 2 new mechanics and give you a proper goodbye. He cried, said you're the best employee he ever had, then told me to take care of you or he'll drive to my house and yell at me in Italian. Marcus laughs, really laughs, the sound foreign after so much darkness. Where do you want to go? Somewhere Maya will love. Beach, ocean, somewhere we can breathe. He takes her hand. Okay, let's go be a family. Before they can leave Chicago, before they can run toward light, Marcus needs to face his past. Wednesday afternoon, under gray skies, threatening rain, Oakwood Cemetery, Southside, where working people are buried, where granite markers tell stories of ordinary lives lived honestly. Marcus stands in front of a simple headstone. Sarah Elizabeth Sullivan, beloved wife and mother, 1990 to 2020. He's been here 100 times, maybe more. Brought Maya when she was small, taught her to leave flowers, to talk to her mother like she's listening. But today he comes alone, comes to say goodbye, or maybe hello to a new chapter. Hey, baby. His voice is quiet, private, between him and the woman he loved first. I know it's been a few months since I visited. Life got complicated. You'd laugh at that. Life was always complicated with you. Medical bills, treatments, hope and despair trading places every day. He kneels, traces her name with his finger. I met someone. I think you'd like her. She's nothing like you. Cold where you were warm, controlled where you were spontaneous. But underneath, she's kind and broken and trying so hard to be good. A tear slides down his cheek, permission granted by solitude. I love her, Sarah, not the way I loved you. That was first love, young love, building a life from nothing. This is different. It's choosing to love again after loss. It's harder, scarier, because I know what losing feels like now. The wind picks up, trees rustling, nature indifferent. I need your blessing. I know that's foolish. You're gone. You can't give permission. But I need to say it out loud. I'm going to marry Elizabeth. I'm going to let Maya call her mom. I'm going to build a new life. He wipes his eyes. That doesn't mean I'm forgetting you. You gave me Maya. You taught me how to love. You showed me what it means to fight. Every good thing I am, you helped build. The rain starts, gentle, soft. I'll bring Maya next week, before we leave, so she can tell you about her new mom. So she knows she's allowed to love two mothers, one in heaven, one here. He stands, places his hand on the cold stone. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for Maya. Thank you for showing me that life is worth fighting for, even when the fight is lost. I'll take care of our girl. I promise. He walks back to his car. Lighter. The weight he didn't know he carried finally released. Sarah would want this. Want him happy. Want Maya to have a mother. The dead don't hold grudges. Only the living do. And Marcus Sullivan is choosing to live. 3 months pass. Winter turns to early spring. Snow melting. Crocuses pushing through frozen ground. The city transforming. The federal trial begins in January. Downtown Chicago. Dirksen Federal Building. Courtrooms that have seen mob bosses and corrupt politicians and now a murderous CFO. The prosecution's case is overwhelming. Devastating. Complete. Sterling's recorded confession. Clear, damning. His voice admitting to murder and theft. The USB drive from Richard Hartley. Documents meticulously organized. A dead man's insurance policy activated. Bank records showing every transfer. Every shell company, every offshore account. $67 million traced and recovered. And Victor Krause, the hitman, the killer for hire, taking a plea deal to avoid death row. The defense tries, they fight. Sterling hired expensive lawyers. The kind who wear $1,000 suits and argue technicalities. They claim coercion. Question evidence chains of custody. Paint Sterling as a scapegoat for corporate mismanagement. But the jury isn't buying it. Elizabeth testifies on day 3. Wearing navy, professional, controlled, but emotional truth bleeding through. Douglas Sterling murdered my father to hide his theft. He threatened a 7-year-old child to keep his secrets. He deserves no mercy. None. Marcus testifies on day 5. Calm, factual. The soldier presenting mission reports. He describes finding the needle, preserving evidence for 2 years, the investigation that led to exposure. Sterling's lawyer attacks. Cross-examination designed to shake credibility. Mr. Sullivan, isn't it true you started a relationship with Ms. Hartley under false pretenses? You didn't disclose your knowledge of her father's death for months. Marcus's voice doesn't rise, doesn't fall. I disclosed it when I had enough evidence to protect her life. Before that, telling her would have put her in danger from the same man who killed her father. Convenient excuse. It's the truth. I was trained to investigate crimes properly. Build airtight cases. I did my job. Sterling got caught. The lawyer pivots, attacking character when facts won't bend. You certainly benefited personally, from driver making $32,000 a year to director making $250,000, from being alone to being in a relationship with a billionaire. Some might say you had financial motive to frame Mr. Sterling. Marcus leans forward, ice in his voice. Some might say a man who stole $67 million and murdered his boss to hide it had motive to lie about everything. The evidence speaks for itself. I'm just the man who had courage to preserve it. The courtroom murmurs. The lawyer backs down. Day 8, Victor Krause takes the stand, 47 years old, former military contractor, current federal witness. His testimony is clinical, detailed, horrifying. Sterling approached me in June 2022, said he had a problem needed solving, offered $500,000. The prosecutor prompts, what was the problem? Richard Hartley? Sterling said Hartley discovered financial irregularities, was planning to expose them. Sterling needed him gone. What did Mr. Sterling ask you to do? Kill Richard Hartley, make it look natural, untraceable. How did you accomplish this? Krause describes the method, potassium chloride injection, administered during a business lunch. Time to trigger cardiac arrest hours later, when the victim was driving, when a crash would obscure the real cause. I followed Hartley after the lunch, watched him get on Interstate 90, saw the moment it hit. Car went off-road, flipped. I left before emergency services arrived. Did Mr. Sterling know your method? He specified it, said Hartley had heart condition Said make it look like stress-triggered attack during accident. That's exactly what I did. The jury looks at Sterling, disgust evident. Sterling sits motionless, emotionless, like he's watching someone else's trial. The defense has no effective counter. Krause's plea deal is solid. His testimony corroborated by evidence. Day 12, closing arguments. The prosecution summarizes. Methodical, powerful. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a complicated case. Douglas Sterling stole $67 million. When Richard Hartley discovered this theft, Sterling hired Victor Krause to kill him. We have Sterling's confession on tape. We have the murder weapon. We have the killer's testimony. We have financial records proving every dollar stolen. The only question is whether you believe a wealthy executive is above the law. I trust you'll prove he's not. The defense's closing is desperate. The evidence is circumstantial. Confessions obtained under duress, testimony from a convicted killer trying to save himself. My client is innocent, a victim of jealousy and corporate politics. No one believes it. The jury deliberates for 4 hours. Marcus and Elizabeth wait in a conference room, Patricia Morrison with them, Mrs. Chen watching Maya at home. Whatever happens, we did right, Patricia says. We told the truth. Elizabeth nods, too nervous to speak. Marcus holds her hand, steady, anchor. At 6 p.m., the jury returns. The courtroom fills, spectators, media, justice about to render judgment. Has the jury reached a verdict? We have, Your Honor. On the charge of first-degree murder, how do you find? Guilty. Elizabeth's hand covers her mouth, tears instant. On the charge of embezzlement? Guilty. On the charge of conspiracy to commit murder? Guilty. 7 counts, 7 guilty verdicts. Sterling shows no emotion, stone-faced, refusing to give anyone satisfaction. The judge thanks the jury, sets sentencing for 2 weeks. Outside the courtroom, reporters swarm. Elizabeth reads a brief, prepared statement. Today, justice was served. My father can rest in peace. Douglas Sterling will spend the rest of his life paying for his crimes. Our family can finally begin healing. Thank you. She takes Marcus's hand. They walk through the crowd, cameras flashing, questions shouting, but it's over, really over. 2 weeks later, sentencing. The judge is thorough, methodical, angry. Mr. Sterling, you were trusted with a company's financial health, trusted with employees' livelihoods. You betrayed that trust, stole millions, and when caught, you murdered a good man. You deserve no leniency. He hands down the sentence. Life in prison without possibility of parole for the murder of Richard Hartley. 25 additional years for embezzlement and related charges, to be served consecutively. Sterling will die in prison. No chance of freedom. No chance of redemption. As guards lead him away, he looks at Elizabeth one final time. She stares back, unflinching, unafraid. He wanted to destroy her. Instead, she destroyed him. Justice, finally, completely. The proposal. 2 weeks after sentencing, life returns to something like normal, whatever normal means now. Marcus starts his new job, learning systems, building protocols, earning respect one day at a time. Elizabeth returns to running Hartley Technologies, but different now. Present, engaged, human. Maya continues being 8. School, friends, science projects, the beautiful obliviousness of childhood. Evening, their Evanston house, the one they bought together. 4 bedrooms, yard for Maya, space to grow. Marcus makes dinner, grilled chicken, roasted vegetables, the simple food of family life. Maya sets the table, insists on cloth napkins because it's fancy. Elizabeth arrives home at 6, actually 6, not 8 or 9 or midnight. Work-life balance achieved. They eat together, talk about their days. Maya chattering about school drama. Who likes who said what. After dinner, Maya does homework. Marcus helps with math. Elizabeth reads emails, but not obsessively. At 9, Maya goes to bed. Teeth brushed, stories read, hugs given. Marcus and Elizabeth clean the kitchen together. The domestic dance of partnership. Then they sit on the back porch. Spring evening, cool but not cold. Stars visible despite city lights. Elizabeth leans against him. Comfortable silence. I've been thinking about something. Marcus waits, listening. About us. About the future, about what we're building. What about it? She turns to face him, serious. We've done everything backwards. Solved a murder before our first real date. Moved in together before defining the relationship. Became a family before becoming a couple properly. Should we slow down? God, no. I want to speed up. She pulls a small box from her pocket, opens it. Inside, a platinum ring, simple, masculine, perfect. Marcus stares, speechless. Marcus Sullivan, you saved me in every way a person can be saved. You taught me that strength and gentleness aren't opposites. You showed me what family actually means, what love actually costs. Will you marry me? He finds his voice. Barely. You're proposing to me? You waited 2 years to tell me you saved my life because you wanted to protect me. I'm not waiting another day to tell you I want forever. So yes, I'm proposing. What do you say? Marcus takes the ring, studies it, feels the weight of commitment and promise. Yes, absolutely yes. I love you. I'll marry you. I'll spend every day earning the gift of your love. She slides the ring onto his finger. Perfect fit. They kiss, gentle, deep, certain. A sound from the doorway. Maya, supposedly asleep, actually eavesdropping. Does this mean you're getting married? Like real married? Like mom and dad married? Elizabeth pulls her close. Yes, sweetheart, if that's okay with you. Maya's face lights up like Christmas morning. Can we have the purple wedding with purple flowers and purple cake and purple everything? Marcus laughs, joy spilling over. Purple everything, I promise. The three of them stand together on the porch. Family, complete. Above them, stars witness. Below them, earth supports. Between them, love grows, the wedding preparation. 3 months of planning. Elizabeth could afford extravagance. Ice sculptures, $1,000 centerpieces, celebrity performances. But that's not who they are, not what this means. Instead, they planned something real, intimate. True, Chicago Botanic Gardens. April 26th, spring in full bloom. 50 guests, family, close friends, key employees who became more than co-workers. Patricia Morrison agrees to officiate. She got ordained online specifically for this. The honor moving her to tears. Maya is flower girl. Purple dress, her choice. She insists on purple everything, and they indulge her completely. The morning of the wedding arrives perfect. 68 degrees. Sunny, no wind, like the universe itself approves. Marcus gets ready in their house. His house now. Not visitor. Home. He stands before the mirror. Navy suit, white shirt, tie that Elizabeth chose. Simple. Classic. Right. Maya appears in his doorway, already in her purple dress, hair in cornrows Elizabeth learned to braid from YouTube videos. Daddy, you look handsome. Thanks, baby girl. You look beautiful. She comes to help with his tie, her small fingers surprisingly capable. Are you nervous? A little. Good nervous. Mom was nervous this morning too. She kept checking her dress in the mirror. Mom, Maya calls Elizabeth mom now. Has for weeks, the transition natural, inevitable. Can I tell you something, Daddy? Always. I think my first mommy would be happy that you found someone who makes you smile again. That I get a mom who loves me. Marcus kneels, eye level with his daughter, his heart. Your first mommy is happy, I'm sure of it. She loved you more than anything. She'd want you to have all the love possible. I love you, Daddy. I love you too, Maya. Forever and always. Meanwhile, across town, Elizabeth prepares in Patricia Morrison's home. Jennifer helps with the dress, cream-colored, simple, elegant, nothing like the corporate armor she wears daily. You're shaking. Elizabeth looks at her hands, trembling slightly. I'm terrified. What if I'm not good enough? What if I fail at this? I've never seen a healthy marriage modeled. My parents were toxic. I don't know how to be a wife. Jennifer takes her hands. Steady, friend. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present. Show up, choose him, choose Maya, every day. That's all marriage is. Ellie, daily choice. What if I choose wrong someday? What if I hurt them? Then you apologize. You fix it. You try again. That's what love does. It doesn't quit when things get hard. Patricia enters, elegant, warm. Ready? Elizabeth takes a breath, then another. Yes, let's do this. The ceremony 3 o'clock. Chicago Botanic Gardens. The Heritage Gardens specifically, surrounded by flowering trees and the scent of spring. 50 chairs arranged in a semicircle. White flowers marking the aisle. Simple. Beautiful. Guests arrive. Taking seats. Anticipation building. Mrs. Chen, Tony from the garage, Jennifer and other Hartley Technologies employees, some board members including the ones who voted against Marcus's position, here anyway, respecting Elizabeth. Patricia stands at the altar, smiling, ready. Musicians begin, string quartet, classical music floating on spring air. Maya walks first, flower girl, throwing purple petals with serious concentration. Everyone smiling at her focus. She reaches the front, takes her place, beaming with importance. Then Elizabeth appears, walking alone. Her choice, her statement. She stands on her own, belongs to herself before belonging to anyone else. The dress flows as she walks, hair down, soft waves, no corporate severity. Just woman, just bride. She reaches the altar, sees Marcus, his eyes filling with tears. She takes his hands. Patricia begins. Friends, family, we gather to celebrate something rare. Two people who found each other in darkness and chose to build light, who faced impossible odds and refused to surrender, who proved that love is not just feeling, it's action, choice, courage. She looks at them both, affection evident. Marcus and Elizabeth didn't have an easy path here. Murder, investigation, danger, fear. But they walked through fire and came out holding hands. That's the kind of love that lasts. She turns to Marcus. Marcus is Sullivan, soldier, father, the man who values integrity above comfort, who saved lives at risk of his own. Do you take Elizabeth as your wife, to love and honor, to stand beside in triumph and trial, to choose her every day for the rest of your life? Marcus's voice is steady, certain. I do, with everything I am. Always. Patricia turns to Elizabeth. Elizabeth Hartley, leader, survivor, the woman who transformed her father's legacy into something better. Do you take Marcus as your husband, to love and honor, to trust and respect, to build a life together founded on truth? Elizabeth's eyes shine with tears, happy ones. I do, with my whole heart, forever. The rings, please. Maya steps forward, carries the pillow with utmost seriousness. Marcus takes Elizabeth's ring, slides it onto her finger. With this ring, I promise to protect you without controlling you, to challenge you while supporting you, to love you exactly as you are while encouraging you to grow. You are my partner, my equal, my home. Elizabeth takes Marcus's ring, the one she chose, the one she proposed with. With this ring, I promise to trust you with my fears, to share my victories, to build a life where honesty matters more than perfection. You saw me when I was invisible. You loved me when I was unlovable. You're my miracle. Patricia's smile widens. By the power vested in me, by the state of Illinois, and by the love evident to everyone here, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Marcus, you may kiss your bride. The kiss is tender, sweet, perfect. Applause erupts. Maya jumps, cheering. They're married. My daddy got married. I have a mom. Laughter ripples through the crowd. Marcus and Elizabeth turn, face their guest, husband and wife. They walk down the aisle together, hands clasped. Future beginning. The reception, the pavilion nearby, decorated simply, white lights, purple accents, Maya's influence evident. Dinner is served, good food, nothing pretentious. The kind of meal that brings people together. Then the toasts begin. Patricia stands first, glass raised. I've served on Hartley Technologies board for 15 years. I watched Richard build an empire. I watched his daughter save it. But today isn't about business. It's about two people who reminded us that integrity matters more than profit, that love is stronger than greed, that doing right is worth any cost. She looks at them with affection. To Marcus and Elizabeth, may your love continue to inspire everyone who witnesses it. Hear, hear, the guests echo. Jennifer stands next, emotional, funny. I've worked for Elizabeth for 5 years, watched her transform from ice queen to actual human being. Laughter. Marcus, you did that. You saw past her walls. You waited for her to lower them. Then you walked in and made yourself at home. Elizabeth, you're the luckiest woman alive, also the smartest. Don't mess this up or I'll be very disappointed. More laughter. Elizabeth wipes tears. Tony from the garage stands, uncomfortable with attention but determined. I only know Marcus 3 years, but he's best mechanic I ever hired. Best man, too. Honest, hardworking, kind. When he left my shop to take this job, I was sad. Now I understand. He didn't take job. He found family. Salute, Marcus. You deserve every happiness. Finally, Maya insists on speaking. Someone lifts her onto a chair. She holds the microphone like a professional. Hi, everyone. I'm Maya. That's my daddy and my new mommy. She points proudly. Before, it was just me and daddy. We were happy, but sometimes daddy was sad. He missed my first mommy. She died when I was little. I don't remember her much, but daddy tells me stories. Her voice gets serious. The room's silent. Then Miss Elizabeth came. At first she was scary, serious, but daddy said scared people need love most. So I loved her, and she loved me back. And now daddy's not sad anymore. And I have 2 mommies, one in heaven watching, one here hugging me. She looks at them, 8-year-old wisdom. Now we're a family, complete. And I think my first mommy is happy because she wanted daddy to be happy, and he is. Not a dry eye in the pavilion. Elizabeth scoops Maya into her arms, holding tight. Thank you, sweetheart, for everything. The dancing begins. Marcus and Elizabeth's first dance. Slow, close. The world fading to just them. I can't believe this is real. Elizabeth rests her head on his chest, listening to his heartbeat. It's real. We're real. This is just the beginning. The beginning of what? Everything. Our life, our family, our future, everything we build together. They sway, surrounded by people who love them. Later, Marcus dances with Maya, her feet on his, laughing as he spins her. Then Elizabeth dances with Maya the same way. Then all 3 dance together, impromptu, joyful. The photographer captures it. The 3 of them, connected, complete. That image will hang in their home forever. The evening winds down, guests departing. Hugs. Congratulations. Joy. Maya falls asleep on a chair, exhausted, happy. Marcus carries her to the car, Elizabeth beside him. They drive home, the 3 of them. Family, epilogue, 18 months later. The narrator returns, that familiar voice. 18 months can change everything or reveal what was always meant to be. Saturday morning, September, early fall, the Evanston house, quiet, peaceful. Marcus makes pancakes, still Mickey Mouse shaped. Some traditions are sacred. Maya, now 9, sits at the table. Homework spread out. 4th grade math. Dad, can you help with this word problem? Dad, not daddy anymore. Growing up, still his little girl but becoming her own person. Marcus leans over, studies the equation. What's the first step? Identify what we're solving for. Exactly. Show me. Elizabeth enters, hair in a messy bun, weekend casual, coffee mug in hand, actually relaxing. She's transformed, still CEO, still brilliant, but present now, available. The company thrives under her leadership. Employee satisfaction at all-time highs. Profit steady, work-life balance modeled from the top. Morning, family. Marcus kisses her. Quick, natural, the ease of marriage. Morning, Mrs. Sullivan. Still love hearing that. She sits, sips coffee, watches her husband help her daughter, their daughter. The adoption was finalized 4 months ago, legal and official. Maya is Elizabeth's in every way that matters. Last month, Maya called her mom without the qualifier. Just mom. Elizabeth cried for an hour. What's on the agenda today? Marcus flips a pancake. Maya's soccer game at 10. Then I thought we could visit the foundation. See the new facility. The Richard Hartley Foundation. Launched 6 months ago. Elizabeth's dream made real. $100 million endowment, supporting single-parent families, medical bills, education, childcare, emergency housing, everything Marcus needed when he was drowning, everything he didn't have. Now other families will. The foundation's new community center opened last week. Southside, Maya's old neighborhood. Resources, classes, hope. Perfect. I want to see it. They eat breakfast together, talk, laugh, the simple rituals that make a house a home. At 9:30, they head to Maya's soccer game. She plays midfielder, aggressive, competitive, Elizabeth's influence showing. Marcus and Elizabeth sit together on the sideline, cheering, other parents around them. Normal, beautifully normal. After the game, they drive to the foundation's community center. New building, fresh paint, solar panels, gardens maintained by volunteers. Inside, activity everywhere. Single mothers attending resume workshops, kids in tutoring sessions, families meeting with financial counselors. The director, Carmen Rodriguez, greets them warmly. 45, former single mother herself. Living proof the foundation's mission works. Mr. and Mrs. Sullivan, welcome. Come see what we've built. She shows them around. Computer lab, early childhood center, medical clinic offering free checkups. In one room, a young mother sits with a counselor, tears on her face, but hope too. You helped her, Carmen says quietly. 3 months ago, she was homeless. 2 kids, no job. Now she's got housing, childcare, starting nursing school next month. Elizabeth's hand finds Marcus's, squeezes. This is what matters. This is everything. They stay for an hour, meeting families, hearing stories, witnessing impact. As they leave, a woman approaches, 30-something, professional clothes, confident bearing. Mrs. Sullivan, I wanted to thank you. 5 years ago, your foundation helped my family. I was a single mom, working fast food, no future. Your scholarship let me go back to school. I'm a teacher now. My kids are in college. You changed our lives. Elizabeth hugs her, tears in both their eyes. Thank you for fighting, for not giving up. That's all you. No, it's us, all of us, helping each other. In the car, driving home, Elizabeth is quiet. You okay? More than okay, I'm thinking about my father, about what he'd say if he saw this. He'd be proud. I think so too. We turned his death into life, his tragedy into hope. That's the best revenge against Sterling, building something good from something terrible. That evening, after Maya is asleep, they sit on the back porch. Their spot, their ritual, stars overhead, Chicago glowing in the distance. I have news. Marcus turns, reading her tone. Something important. I'm pregnant. Time stops. What? Pregnant. 10 weeks. I found out yesterday. Wanted to be sure before telling you. Joy floods his face. Wonder, awe. We're having a baby. We're having a baby. He pulls her close, laughing, crying. Maya's going to lose her mind. She's going to be the best big sister. They hold each other, planning, dreaming, a new chapter beginning. The narrator speaks one final time. Marcus Sullivan took a job nobody wanted, driving for a woman everyone called impossible. He did it for justice, for answers, for truth. What he found was everything he never knew he needed. Love, family, purpose beyond survival. Elizabeth Hartley inherited a company and a murder. She could have stayed cold, stayed safe, stayed alone. Instead, she chose trust, chose vulnerability, chose the man nobody expected. Together, they proved something simple but profound. That integrity matters, That character matters. That love matters. Douglas Sterling spent 20 years building an empire on lies. It collapsed in one night. Marcus and Elizabeth spent 18 months building a family on truth. It grows stronger with each sunrise. That's the real legacy. Not money, not power, not revenge, but this: love chosen daily, family built deliberately, second chances made real. The job nobody wanted led to the life everyone dreams of. Sometimes the greatest victories are the quiet ones, the ones we build at home, the ones that last. The final image: Marcus and Elizabeth on their porch, his hand on her still flat stomach, her head on his shoulder, Maya visible through the window, asleep in her room, safe, loved, a family, complete, growing. The screen fades to black. This has been The Driver and the Billionaire, a story of murder and justice, but more than that, a story of love, real love, the kind that transforms, the kind that lasts, the kind worth fighting for. Thank you for joining us. May you find your own second chance, your own impossible love, your own happy ending built with your own hands. Until next time. Fade to black, the end.